We'll go out to him at the bee farm. He's standing in the middle of swarming bees this morning. A lot of people that wouldn't do that, James, where you must have been educated.
I am. You know, I've been with Tammy enough times. We've talked about bees. I've gotten to know them. And let me tell you this situation we have. This right here, that's the extractor. That's what you spin, and it extracts the honey, and that's how you make it. Well, we thought we were going to be cool. We came around the corner and got away from the hives, and we were going to spin some honey. Well, what happened was all the bees in their hives, they started sensing that. And they have swarmed us, basically, and they're taking over. Tammy, tell us what they're doing here, because these honeycombs that we see are ones they've already built. So basically, they're sucking that in and going to take it back to their new hives.
We've just made it easy for them to go to the store is basically all that's happened. Normally, we would extract the honey here to actually put into jars to sell. The bees this morning decided that's not what we were going to do. They decided they were taking it back.
So the bees are extracting. And they're ready to go.
Absolutely,
they're ready to get busy working. That is their life's goal. That's all they do is work.
That is correct. They will die working. That's why they're called worker bees.
These are all females.
Yes.
They're the ones that do all the work, and they're the ones that can sting as well. But they don't want to sting because that's the last thing they want to do because they die after they sting.
That's right. Honeybees are built to be very peaceful. They do not actually attack any other pest or insects. They have pests that attack them, but honeybees are naturally gentle. The stinging is the last resort because they do die. They're not like a wasp. A wasp can sting you repeatedly and its stinger breaks off. A honeybee, though, it actually rips her guts out when she stings you.
Right. So any sudden movements or whatnot, if I was to just stick my hand in there and crushed one of them, that's their natural instinct is to sting.
Yes.
But if I'm real gentle and move real soft, you've got one right on the tip of your nose. That's great. But, you know, and that's the thing. Just if you ever come across bees like this out in the field, this is what you want to do. You just want to be real calm and move away slowly.
We teach the kids out at the giving field how to behave around the bees because they're working in a natural environment. Now, you have one on your forehead.
I do. I can feel it. What's really weird is when they get in your ear.
Yes, yes. But the kids have to learn how to be in nature and be gentle. And so we teach them that they don't slap at the bees and they don't swat at the bees. Of course, anytime you're around nature, anything can happen. You know, animals are built to defend themselves. And unfortunately, honeybees, their only line of defense is to sting.
Right. So they wake up this morning, they're a couple were coming out to test the weather, see what it was going to be like. They go back in, they tell the others, and then that's what they do. They get to work and they start building. That's their number one goal.
That's correct. We were talking a little bit earlier about her movements. She's actually cleaning herself. And if she gets too much honey on her, she gets too much pollen on her, sometimes her sisters will come help clean her. But if you watch her real close, she's actually sticking out her tongue, which is called her proboscis, and it's a straw-like tongue. So these bees are actually sucking the honey out of the cells. Yeah. And so she will scrape her tongue off repeatedly during the day.
So they go pick up nectar throughout the day, they bring it back, and they actually regurgitate it. It used to be called bee vomit before it became honey.
That is correct. Back in the olden days, people would say, hey, honey, go get me some bee vomit for my pancakes.
Yeah. And the other thing with these, they are going to be so busy this morning, they will not be able to fly here in a little while. They're going to be so weighted down with the honey that they're swallowing.
They are greedy. They do gorge themselves, and they will kill their sisters by landing on them and shoving them down into. This is not normally how we feed. No. The reason I have the frames like this is because when I feed bees during the winter, if I find a hive that's light, I will actually take a frame of their own honey and put it back in there for them to strip throughout the winter. But these girls decided they were going to extract it for us this morning.
Very good. So Muldrow Bee Farm, I guess if anyone has any kind of hives they find at their house or whatnot, don't kill them.
Correct.
We're on the increase now. We're getting our bee populations back, but you would go out, you can call people. There's bee collectors that will come collect them and bring them back.
Yes, they're absolutely. Usually if you call the police department or the fire department, they'll have a list of beekeepers. You can go to beesonthenet.com. There's a list of beekeepers. Texas Apiary Inspection Service, TAIS.com, is the people who regulate beekeeping, and they have a list of beekeepers who are approved through them to go do this.
Yeah. Okay, and here you go, the finished product. That's Patty trying to get in the jar there. But yeah, Muldrow's bee. That's some of the best honey around right there.
All right, James, thanks. Fascinating. Like I say, to see all the bees swarming there is amazing, because you don't, out in nature, you're not going to see that when they're going to the honeycomb like that.
Like swim